open the regular Commissioners meeting, Port of Allyn, with the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Today we have on our agenda consent agenda items. We have consent agenda items A, approved regular meeting minutes of October 7th, 21st, and 25th.
Now, do you want to do the consent?
Regular and special.
Do you want to do 2 and 3? I'm sorry, just the regular meeting minutes, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I move that we accept the regular meeting minutes of October 7th, 21st, and 25th.
And one of those was a special meeting, and that was the 25th. A motion on the floor.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item number 3, action items A, B, C, and D.
I'll make a motion that we approve actions item A, B, C, and D for the vouchers. A is $123,915.49. B is $750. C is $18,931.91, and D $71.43.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Commissioner reports. Commissioner Scott?
Well, not much. Court meeting on the 7th, the PRTPO meeting, which was a call-in on October 10th. I nominated Dave Smith. He's the vice chair for PRTPO TAC, Technical Advisory Committee. He's from the Mason County Public Works. And October 14th, Oyster House meeting. October 21st, budget meeting. Of course, the Washington Public Ports Association Small Ports meeting. And North Mason Community Voice. Great Bend Chorale spoke, Matthew Melendez, and November 4th, that was today, nominating committee for Washington Public Ports Association.
I attended the 2 regular meetings on October 7th and the 21st, and the special meeting on the 25th, and also attended the special meeting on the 25th, and attended the meeting with the area habitat biologist regarding the Oyster House and pilings and boat ramp. And the last thing, I'm just about done with the marina rules.
Awesome.
So I should have those to Larry by probably Tuesday of next week.
Great.
Thank you. I as well went to the October 7th, 21st regular meeting, October 25th special meeting, went to the WPPA Small Ports Conference, had our offsite retreat, and went to the EDC board meeting in November. That was it for me. Moving on to security officers report.
Okay, Travis is not here, but he did submit a report, which I sent to you all this afternoon.
Is it just that one, the incident, or was there an
Yeah.
actual report?
It's just that one incident. I guess there's like a runaway 14-year-old was threatening to live on the scamper. So,
It's the daughter of the previous owner.
yeah, one of
that
them.
died.
Yeah. So,
So we're on the lookout for her.
yeah. Well, he hadn't seen her since that night.
Oh, the police were
Between
looking
then
that
and when
night.
he left, he hadn't seen her. So,
Right, the executive director's report.
okay, 2020 budget. We have the draft budget on the agenda tonight, as well as a public hearing for the budget. Nothing has changed from our October 21st meeting, and we should adopt it tonight unless there are additional concerns you may have. We also have Resolution 408, the levy certification, on the agenda for tonight. You'll notice the amount of property tax revenue we're scheduled to collect exceeds what's budgeted, so we have a small cushion there if we need it. Other than that, I'm happy to answer any questions you have. State audit. The state auditor has been here off and on for the past 2 weeks. We have an exit conference with myself and Commissioner Cooper scheduled for Wednesday at 9 a.m. if either Commissioner Scott or Jackson would like to attend. We're not anticipating any major issues or surprises. Here at Community Utilities proposal, nothing new. Property purchase, the sellers are pushing us to close, and in talking with Kim Sellers, RCO will fund 75% up front once we have final purchase and sale agreement in hand, which I anticipate having by the end of this week, and submit it to them along with the closing documents. There's a somewhat convoluted process we have to go through, and Kim was going to walk me through it, but she was unable to do it when we originally wanted to, but we'll get it done shortly. Also, according to RCO, we needed to have an appraisal review done, which we now have. So I'm hopeful to be able to close this by the 15th. Copier lease. We have accepted a proposal for a lease on a new copier from United Business Machines. It'll give us some additional technology upgrades from our old machine, and in the end cost us less than the Toyota machine we currently have. Should be delivered, installed, programmed, and ready to go within the next 2 weeks. Security issues. We're still looking into what it will take to install high-resolution wireless remote cameras here at the park, as well as Hood Canal Boat Launch and Marina. We want a system that will transmit images from multiple cameras in multiple locations and store them in the cloud for any necessary law enforcement documentation. We also want at least 2 cameras that have enough resolution to read license plate numbers. Commissioner Jackson and myself will continue to pursue this. WPPA meeting schedules. Next up is the annual meeting, which is November 20th and 22nd, or 22nd, at the Hotel Murano in Tacoma. When Leanne went to make reservations for everyone, she found the block of rooms for WPPA was already sold out. That's what happened to us at Sun Katie, as you recall. The rooms available are about $100 a night more than the WPPA rate. Since it's in Tacoma, we might want to consider only staying the night of the reception. Also, Missy from WPPA said she will keep us apprised of any cancellations so we could possibly secure those rooms at the WPPA rate. Renting out our small office. We're back to square one on this. I spoke with Heather Reese and told her of our concerns about after-hours access, and she said that doesn't work for her. I did refer her to someone I know who may be able to help her find what she needs. Totem pole issue. I spoke with James Kelsey, and we're going to meet this week, plan what we need to do to move this forward. Old business. Transient mortgage expansion project. We're essentially done with this project. The electrician called for an inspection last week, and the inspector was here on Friday to final it. What remains to be done is for Don to finish the kiosk, which is about 90% done. He needs to put the roofing on it. That's basically all he has left. We also need to have some signage made and put in place and the pay station activated, which will also happen tomorrow. Roy is going to be here at 1 o'clock. Hopefully we can be completely finished within about another 10 days. As you know, we have a ribbon cutting with Representatives Griffey and Theringer, as well as a number of other invitees on the 18th. You may have noticed the vouchers are unusually high this month. However, they include the payment for the electrical work as well as the extras for hooking up the Santa Sailor. I turned these in for reimbursement today, over $113,000 worth, and expect them to be improved and deposited in our account later this week or early next week. Last time it only took 3 days from submission to electronic payment. However, Scott has informed me we may have an issue with the fire code and have to upgrade our system. I don't have any costs on that yet, but did talk to our grant manager at Commerce to see if we can use any of our leftover money for that. She told me it would be an expansion to the scope of the grant, but since it is a code issue there, we possibly could. She told me to get costs, write it up, and submit it, and she'd see what she could do to help us. Sweetwater Park, as directed at the retreat, I sent a letter to North Mason School District with a date to wrap this up. I spoke with Superintendent Dana Rosen back late Friday, and she looked into it after getting our letter. It appears that there's been some miscommunication between our attorney and their attorney about who exactly is doing what paperwork, and that's been the holdup. Called our attorney and asked him what the status of this was. He responded via email, and I instructed him to just do whatever was necessary to wrap this up as quickly as possible. Also told Ms. Rosenbach that we wouldn't hold them to the date in the letter now that we know where the problem was. Hopefully this will be resolved shortly, finally. Oyster House, our current part of the project is to get the launch ramp removed and the pilings driven. Met with Pat McCullough and a guy who was suggested to do the geotechnical survey. I wasn't at all impressed with him, nor was Pat. Pat suggested another firm he has worked with, and at the retreat, Bill Ray also suggested someone. After meeting with Bill Ray at the retreat concerning the permitting, we're all on the same page and have a clear direction and understanding of the scope of what needs to be done to get the ramp out. Pat had given us a proposal for the engineering on this project, but some negotiating is in order for a much reduced scope of work. Once the Army Corps of Engineers permit is obtained, we can begin the demolition. We have until the end of February to get that done. Otherwise, we have to wait until July. Pat had suggested we expand the deck to accommodate community gatherings like they did for the Net Shed 9 restoration project in Gig Harbor. I checked with the historic folks, as that wasn't our decision, and Nicholas Van responded they didn't have a problem with it. However, Bill Ray advised us against it, as he doesn't want to potentially compromise the Army Corps of Engineers or state permitting process. Criminalization of marina rules, nothing new has happened, although Commissioner Jackson has continued to work on this and has a direction on how to proceed, but first we need to get the cameras in place. All Ports meeting, the last Kitsap All Ports is scheduled for the 28th. I was in Spokane at the MRSC purchasing seminar and missed that meeting. Since the Port of Shelton doesn't seem interested in pursuing the idea of a Mason County All Ports Association, I was thinking about approaching Jack Bailey from the Kitsap All Ports Association, approaching the idea of including not only us, but Great View and Dewato as well, if they're interested in making it a West Sound All Ports Association. I wanted to get your thoughts on that before I approached him or the other ports. And that's my report.
Does Bremerton go to that Kitsap All Ports?
Yes.
They go to that?
Sometimes.
Is there anybody
It's
that's not
usually
going?
James Weaver that goes. As far as not going, it's kind of hit and miss, but most of it's who's usually there is Bremerton, Kingston, Brownsville, of course, Illahee, Silverdale, Waterman, and I'm trying to think who else.
There's Tracyton.
Manchester. No, nobody from Paulsville has gone ever since they fired them. They didn't fire him, he resigned. Excuse me. But nobody from Paulsville has been since then. But he was a regular attendee.
Brad.
Yeah. There's a couple of the other small ones too that go like Tracyton.
Eldon?
Right.
No, not Eldon. Is it Elgin?
Eglon.
Eglon. I knew that. Got you
Elgin's
going
not
though,
here
huh?
somewhere.
No, I've never seen them there. So there's like 13 ports in Kitsap County, believe
11.
it or not.
11.
11? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
It was I think there was 12. Maybe it's 12. Well, what's one or two between
yeah,
friends?
really.
And
Yeah.
I got a email from the Port of Kingston that looks funny.
Do not open it until I talk to him because it looked
Okay.
funny to me as well.
Yeah, it's a OneDrive business file, which I don't know why any of us would get that.
Yeah, we get that cyber report from the guy from the Port of Vancouver, and he's like, every week, do not open anything you weren't expecting.
Yeah.
Call the people and ask them. So, and I meant to call Greg today, and I just did not have time. So, but anyway,
Okay, well, old business. Went through it, but, do we have any updates on, the marina project? Mine was not necessarily a code violation. It was just, would it be the right thing to do to update the fire system
right.
at this time? And we'll look into what the code says, see if we've got leftover money to do it. It's probably just the right thing to do, so that's what we were thinking there. right, no other old business. Moving on to new business, 2020 draft budget, which is out for everybody's review. Larry said there was no changes to it from the last time we had it out. It's the
Yeah,
same
from the
budget we saw
21st.
last time on the 21st.
I did put some copies out there for the public.
So any discussion on the budget from the board?
No?
I have
think
none.
we've
Okay.
gone over it quite a bit.
That's right.
Were you, I know you were gone, Leslie. Did we figure out where the June tax comes from?
You know, I have called there, and I actually had a conversation with Julie Richard today, and with the gal from the assessor's office, and both of them went, I don't know what to tell you, I'll have to check into it. But I did ask,
Okay.
so.
Great. So the next item is to public hearing for the 2020 draft budget. So we'll shut down the regular meeting, open the public hearing for the 2020 draft budget. Any public comment on the draft budget?
Hi, public. Nothing, Dan?
All right.
Ken?
Yeah, please.
Thank you, Commissioners. Ken Van Buster from Belfair. I just grabbed a copy that Ola left out, scanned through it, and just had a couple of comments that I wanted you to consider. The payroll expenses be about 65–70% of the total budget. And I'm not sure how many employees there are in the board, but that seems a little high. The other thing that concerns me is that it's like you're budgeting 27,000 for a lobbyist. And I don't really see I don't really see the rationale for that, but that's me as a taxpayer. And the third thing is, in the capital budget, I see you've put 5,000 towards that Sweetwater Park. I think that's might be a little premature, not knowing whether you're going to even have it or not. And that's pretty much all the comments I have. So, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, if there's no other, oh, go ahead.
If I could defend the lobbyists a little bit, I think, in my view, the reason why I know in my view, the reason why we went with lobbyists is because we're looking at bigger monies from the state. And we can't expect the executive director, the commissioners, to have the expertise to lobby these legislators to get more money up here. So that's why I back having a lobbyist down there. So if we do have projects like the Oyster House, and if we were to move forward with Sweetwater, we'd have those connections down there. They're already greasing the skids. Yeah, it's large. And I think you know that I work for a nonprofit, Washington Council of Police and Sheriffs, and we were paying close to $80,000 a year to lobby on behalf of police officers to either enhance law enforcement or defeat the bills that were coming out to basically de-enhance law enforcement. So that's how I defend it, Ken. And you're right, maybe we don't even need the $5,000 in there. But right now with the attorneys for the Sweetwater Creek, but the attorneys talking back and forth, that's going to cost us some money. So whether or not we move forward with the project, I'm surprised it's taken us this long to even get a definite answer. So that's my 2 cents. And with regards to the payroll, yeah, I just stepped into a position and I made a comment to the board of commissioners: you get what you pay for. And I guess I could call myself an executive director part-time now, but it's a lot. A week and a half, I'm starting to get a little overwhelmed, but it's a lot. So, but that can be addressed every year. Every year we could go over our payroll. So I'm really impressed with the work Don does, maintaining this facility. And knowing Travis for the last 20 years, I'm impressed with the work he's been able to get done as security, along with Larry and Leanne.
All right, if there's no other comment, we will close the public hearing, reopen the regular meeting. And next item on the agenda is approve the 2020 draft budget.
Chairman, I move that we accept the draft 2020 budget as submitted.
A motion on the floor,
I'll second.
and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item D on new business, review and approve resolution 408, the 2020 levy certification.
So where did that
1%.
go? I move-
Includes the 1%.
Yes.
Yes. I move that we accept resolution number 408. Do you want me to read it?
Sure.
Oh, goody. Whereas the Port of Allyn has considered its budget for the calendar year of 2020, and whereas the district's actual levy amount from the previous year was $289,341.59, and the population of this district is less than 10,000, and now therefore be it resolved by the governing body of the taxing district that an increase in the regular property tax levy is hereby authorized for the levy to be collected in the 2020 tax year. The dollar amount of this increase over the actual levy amount from the previous year shall be $2,592.32, which is 1% increase from the previous year. This increase is exclusive of additional revenue resulting from new construction, improvements to property, newly constructed wind turbines, solar, biomass, and geothermal facilities, and any increase in the value of state-assessed property, any annexations that have occurred, and refunds made.
Adopted this 4th day of November 2019.
Yes.
There's a motion on the floor
I'll second the motion.
and a second. All those in favor to approve?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Let's sign that one. We are to public comment. Public comment? Good to the order?
I do have something.
All right.
Kat Ross is starting a new community newspaper, being that our Belfair Herald is wanting. So she's asking for people to write and also for advertising. So I thought maybe the port just could help at least for a couple of times to get something going. It's economic development, you know, just to show our face. So I asked Larry to take a look at it.
Kat has talked to me at some length about it.
Any other good to the order?
I don't think so.
Move for
It's all
adjournment?
good.
Yeah, I'd just like to add, when we're looking at these lobbyists, one of the things that was discussed at the retreat was doing a project that's actually going to benefit all of North Mason County, and that means jobs for our youth, for our adults, for our retired folks. And one of the things about the lobbyists is that if we could present a plan, which we've got a few plans in mind, present it to the lobbyists to get our legislators and county commissioners to adopt it, we could start looking for funds to buy property, start looking at things to build, and hopefully bring in businesses. There are things up here that we don't have access to. I made a comment the other day that it's absolutely wonderful. Shelton area is getting a YMCA, but where do our kids get to exercise besides the high school at certain times? Where do they get to learn how to swim? Where do they get to do anything that we don't have in North Mason? And I've heard it more and more, and I hear it more, and I appreciate the comment, is that the Port of Allyn is the only government up here in North Mason County. And so that is my proponent for the lobbyists. I think they knocked it out of the park this year, and hopefully on the 18th, we're getting some of these legislators in just to see the marina project and some of the stuff we're doing around here. But if we could spend $27,000 a year to hopefully get $500,000 next year to buy property, get community input saying, this is what we need in North Mason County, I'm all for it. And if it takes the port to drive it, we need it. I mean, you gentlemen are consistent here at this meeting, so you care. But I think we need more up here, not to develop a huge swath of industrial parks or anything that's going to ruin our way of life, but develop things that are going to improve our way of life. So that's my thought.
I just want to add on that too, is that, you know, Bonnie and I were knocking down the doors to try to get some money for the Oyster House, and, you know, they would listen, but not being there 24/7, not 24/7, but all the time, every day, which we couldn't. Once we got the lobbyists hired, we got what, quadrupled. What-
218,000 for our part of that.
Yeah.
And Bonnie got 160.
So, to me, that was good investment. It's scary, because I wasn't for it at first either, because that is a lot of money. But just so that you know, we're trying to spend it wisely so we can do stuff that benefits everybody up here. So, there we go.
Your budget wouldn't have allowed for what you're doing if you hadn't moved the money last time.
Very
No.
true. Thank you, yes.
You're absolutely right. And
Yeah.
going back to the old days, or my previous job, I look at everything that we spent money on lobbyists for. 10 years ago, a police officer couldn't retire after 25 years at the age of 53. It was 56 years old. We spent that money. We spent a lot of money on lobbyists. We have an in-house lobbyist at the Washington Council of Police, and we also hired. Now police officers get to retire at 53. It was a huge win for us, and firefighters, excuse me. But we had to put a lot of money up front, lots of money up front. So, and then initiative I-940, that cost us a lot of money also, so, for lobbyists.
That's it for me. Thank
Motion to
you.
adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.